This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with a daily wrestling news update. The official rating for SmackDown on Friday, the first SmackDown with crowds back, did a 0.66 rating, way up from the 0.4s they've been getting. So people were interested to see wrestling again with a crowd. On Raw, as expected, Goldberg returned and confronted Lashley. Keith Lee returned, one of the most overrated wrestlers in my opinion. And Karrion Kross made his Raw debut. He is the NXT champion. I did get an interview with him prior to him actually debuting for WWE. Very good wrestler, in my opinion. Tomorrow, I am going to be interviewing Josh Barnett at noon Eastern, and Mike O'Hearn, who was in American Gladiators as Titan and Thor. He's also a very successful bodybuilder and actor. And I was actually talking to Rick Bassman today. He was a wrestler as well. And the interesting thing that Rick Bassman said about Mike was him, along with Evan Marriott, another guy I've interviewed, who I've become friends with since, who played Joe Millionaire. Rick told me that Joe Millionaire and Mike O'Hearn were the two students of his that could have been big wrestling stars, but didn't follow through on wrestling. So I am going to ask Mike about that. Rick said the issue with Mike was apparently at that time he just wasn't willing to commit to it because it was at the peak of his fame. The big Battleground Championship Wrestling event at the ECW Arena September 18th has announced Sabu has been added to the card, teaming with Rob Van Dam, managed by Bill Alfonso, to take on Matt Hardy and a mystery opponent. He's not the only mystery man on that card. Raven is also bringing a mystery opponent for Little Guido. Enzo's going to be there. Amber Nova's going to be there. Billy Gunn's going to be there. Buddy Murphy, Brian Cage, shaping up to be a huge event. Now, I have been bitching. People from Ontario are going to identify with me on this. The guy that runs Ontario, Doug Ford, had gyms closed here until last Friday, citing that they're too dangerous. Well, it's a Monday night tonight. Everybody knows Mondays is the busiest gym day of the week. My gym was absolutely empty tonight. So the government here has actually tricked people into thinking gyms are dangerous. I'm not complaining. I like working out when there's nobody there. But give me a break. You had gyms closed until Friday because, they're going to be so busy and all this bullshit that they're COVID hotbeds. And let me put this up one more time. There was just me in the gym tonight. So that's absolute craziness. John, I didn't actually see what they did with Kross. Fill me in on what they did with Kross. Jason, I'm doing all right. Looking forward to my interviews tomorrow. Josh Barnett, former UFC champion, another great one to add to the list. Is there someone I really want to interview? Tom DeLonge from Blink-182. Jesse Ventura was on the list, but his agent turned out to be someone who is a really despicable person. So it actually totally turned me off of Jesse Ventura. Nicholas giving the ECW chant. That show is going to be a very ECW-esque show, and I'm going to be there covering it. for the Hannibal TV. It's such a good show, such a big event, that I am actually going to go back to Philadelphia, my least favorite city in the United States, to cover that show. Jay says that the province here has been fear-mongering. Okay, and I've been telling you guys, I've been trying to book a Great North Wrestling event, but the arenas that we go to are city arenas. I don't like running in community centers, but it doesn't even really matter. There's so much fear. Arena, even though technically they could do arenas right now at half capacity, the arenas don't even want to have events because they're afraid lockdowns are going to happen, and they're afraid of all this bullshit. This guy mentions Doug Ford never saw the inside of the gym. That is correct. Eric, I would say The Undertaker would be on that list, but he works for WWE. He signed a 25-year contract with them, and they don't like giving me interviews because I'm honest. If I see something good in WWE, I'll tell you. By the way, John Cena was on the show again on Raw, giving a couple of speeches from what I understand. But yeah, there you go. Someone's bringing up John Cena returned. He didn't wrestle. Who was my toughest opponent? I would have to say the current Canadian champion, Jeremy Prophet, gave me my toughest battles in wrestling, for sure. Mike says, rock on, Hannibal. Perry agrees with me. Keith Lee is overrated. Another fat guy. There's too many fat guys in wrestling. Yes, there is going to be a Nord the Barbarian interview on Saturday at 11:30 p.m. There was a previous one scheduled years ago, but he ended up getting arrested, so it got canceled. So let's hope between now and Saturday night at 11 p.m. he can keep himself out of trouble. I don't know why Canada is still tripping. I think we're at 54% vaccinated too at this point. So I don't know. John wants to see more Dynamite Doll. Anything's possible. Shot proof. I didn't see John Cena, and neither did I. I don't know if that's a joke or not. I actually don't like how he sucks up to China, because my beautiful dog, who's sleeping below me right now, is my best friend, and they skin and boil dogs alive there. So I fucking hate China. So I have no respect for him for how he sucks up to China. But I don't doubt that even though he's not a full-time star, he's one of the biggest wrestling stars out there, along with The Rock is bigger. The Undertaker is technically bigger, but The Undertaker may or may not be fully retired. You never know in wrestling. But other than that, he's one of the top guys. Batista is pretty popular too, but he's not quite at Cena's level. A couple more questions. Somebody tip me. Thank you for the $4.99 tip, Roland. He says, Booker T said that Natalya was the greatest female superstar in history. Do I agree or disagree? If I disagree, who is the greatest female superstar? Well, I trained with Natalya, so I'm not going to argue if someone thinks she was the greatest female superstar in history. When I think about my favorite female wrestlers, I guess Melina would be my favorite. But that's a matter of opinion. And I have told Melina that, by the way. So I'm saying this again to say it. I'm not just saying that when she's in front of me, when I've told her she's my favorite wrestler. She really is, as a female wrestler. It's too bad that her run wasn't longer, but she did have a lot of success. AC is pretty disgusted at the pop they gave Cena. Well, most people don't know about all the other stuff, but whatever. Yes, I beat the crap out of that guy a bunch of times. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story about that guy. He could be better now than when I wrestled him. I really don't know, but he wasn't much of a challenge. But I wrestled him in his hometown of Edmundston, New Brunswick. And after I beat him, he got up and accepted some flowers from some people in the crowd. And when I saw that, I was really mad. So I attacked him again, beat him down. And then his family members started coming after me, legitimately. So, yes, I can say I was attacked by fans trying to protect him. But when somebody beats you in wrestling, you don't get up and stand around the ring and accept flowers. Anyways, I hope he's better now than he was then. He was really easy to beat back then. Who started hardcore wrestling? The Sheik. 100% the Sheik. And by the way, since you bring up Abdullah the Butcher's name, George, there was a few people, because I put out a compilation video of a bunch of Abdullah and my matches. And some people said, how dare you do that, Hannibal? After all that went on with you guys, that's disgusting that you put it out. I've spent nearly $200,000 in legal fees against that guy. I'm going to recuperate the money any way I can. So if I can get some video revenue from it, I'm going to. Why the hell wouldn't I? I own the footage. And some of those matches were quite painful. And I shed a lot of blood. So why the hell would I want to keep that hidden? Makes no sense. Long story short, using the term superstar is such a heel title. I don't know what you're referring to there. But Billy Graham was the original superstar. I guess if you're calling yourself a superstar, I guess you could say. John agrees with me that Melina is great. She's a nice person as well. I have no issues with her, but she is lucky that the Blood Hunter, one of the people that she managed, Big Cass, at one point in time, was causing some issues with the Blood Hunter, and she's very lucky that match didn't happen, because he would have humiliated Cass. Well, maybe she would have ended up with the Blood Hunter, because she managed the Blood Hunter once in his match against Harry Smith, who debuted in WWE last week. She actually helped the Blood Hunter win that match. So it actually would have been interesting to see if Melina's allegiance would have stayed with Cass or gone to the Blood Hunter had that match actually occurred. And it still could occur. Nobody's saying that. The Falcon Lake UFO incident, John, yes, that was something that happened in Winnipeg, in the Manitoba area, not Winnipeg, but Manitoba. And I would like to talk to experts on that. I did interview a guy that had some unusual stuff happen at his house. And for any of you saying that there was a lot of haters in the comments, this guy has been messaging me with his videos and pictures for over 6 months now. Now, he's very passionate about his subject. I believe he believes what he's seeing. I don't believe he's faking these pictures. What they are, I really don't know. But I was willing to hear him out for half an hour. So, and if I'm going to hear him out, I'd rather hear him out in a public forum, because a lot of people ask me for more UFO content on here. And for the people that complain when I post UFO videos, just don't click on them. I'm very interested in that. David can't wait for the Dark Journey interview on Thursday. Who do I think is the perfect wrestler? Well, that would have to be my very favorite wrestler, the Blood Hunter, because he's extremely violent. He looks powerful. He's menacing. He's mysterious. And he's undefeated. So if you're undefeated in approximately 2 years of competition, you got to be pretty damn good.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos,